Let's get this over with.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, this fight scene has gone on a little long. I think we can... I mean, we know he's going to win. He's not going to kill him. It's only, like, there's 2 hours left of the movie. It's not going anywhere yet. Hi, movie lovers. Welcome to Old Lady Reacts. I'm the Old Lady, otherwise known as Michelle. I'm a huge movie buff, and this is my channel where I react to mostly action and superhero movies that I've never seen before, but also other stuff that looks interesting or new. I started the channel so I can understand the inside jokes and references in WandaVision, and here we are over a year later, still reacting. After John Wick Chapter 3, which I didn't think that was all that good, I'm not terribly excited to get into Chapter 4, but several people left comments on my Chapter 3 reaction that this one is much better. And a few even used the word masterpiece, which, you know, it's a very impressive, very loaded word. I've only used that word once on a channel, and that was for Everything Everywhere all at Once. I can't imagine that a John Wick movie is going to be anywhere near as good as that, although the first one did come close. I really enjoyed the first one. And I put the first one in the top tier with Everything Everywhere all at Once, but even within the top tier, you know, there are different levels of greatness. So I am doubtful, but I'm willing to keep an open mind. It has a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but like looking on there, also like it showed me that it's almost 3 hours long. So it better be worth it or I'm going to be pissed off. And it better have a lot of Ian McShane because I like him a lot. So before we get started, please subscribe so you can see all of my reactions, and then check out my Patreon if you're interested in participating in polls, having early access to videos, and watching full-length reactions, including this one, which I'm sure I will do a full-length reaction of this movie. Hop over there, become a patron, and support the channel. So let's dive into John Wick Chapter 4. Oh, and heads up that it's like 92 degrees outside and humid, so I can't really turn the AC off. You might hear it in the background, but I'll try to minimize it as much as I can. Thunder Road, is that a movie company I've seen before?
Abandon all hope, you who are about to enter here.
Ah, that looks painful.
Now in the presence of the motherfucking king.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool intro. I'll give them that. Let's see if they can keep it going. I like that. Very stylized. I will say one of the things about these movies is that they always show them, you know, properly reloading. You don't see that in a lot of action movies.
Mr. Wick, to what do I owe the pleasure?
He's just sitting outside baking in the sun.
This must be a mistake.
There is no mistake. By order of the
That's a great shot.
this hotel has been condemned.
Uh-oh.
Power of autem imperator, which means he is now our judge, jury, and
Executioner. They do always get the sets really gorgeous in these movies, I will say. That's very cool. That is very cool looking. It's nice they got off of the whole, like, let's make it all glass and mirrors thing. Is his vest supposed to be like that? I kind of want to, like, scoot it to the left. Uh-oh. Oh, no! They destroyed the whole hotel? That's not very nice. They couldn't just, like, give it to somebody else?
You no longer need the services of a concierge.
What? That's not cool. He's so much taller than him. I love it.
That's not for you to decide.
Gross.
Very, very good.
It is like every shot is gorgeous. It might get to be a bit much after a while, but...
Emotional support animal.
She's your support animal.
Other way around. I'm hers. Isn't that right?
flip phone. Finally, like someplace that looks normal. They do like their rooftop patios.
ついに君の安らぎを見つけたのか。
No, I wouldn't think so.
The table will never stop. You know this. It only takes life and only gives death.
So maybe we have to destroy the table. Maybe the organization is the problem and that just needs to go.
A good death only comes after a good life.
Good point.
頭のご到着だ。おもてなしの準備を。
It's very coded. I like that. They're definitely like, this is the 25 minutes, 26 minutes in. This is like the first fight. Mostly it's been kind of story and dialogue and all that. So I'm appreciating that.
Don't repeat the mistake that fool in New York made.
Fools talk, cowards are silent, but wise men listen. Hello, old friend.
Have we seen this guy before? The blind guy? Was he in the first movie? As I say, they must have suits that are bulletproof and arrow-proof at this point. Because didn't John Wick have that at the first one, or did they make it in the second one? I can't remember. Who are those guys now? Oh, they're his army? Okay, I wasn't sure whose army that was. Okay, well, she's prepared. She's very flexible. It's the thing that bugs me is like the faceless army enemy. They're very stormtrooper-esque, which, they can't fight that well and they can't hit anything. And they all kind of die in like spectacularly glorious, gory fashion. He's sitting there eating his ramen. Oh, through the wall there. That's cool. How many of those can he possibly have in those pockets? That's a pretty skinny suit. There's not a lot of pocket room in it, I don't think. Did he literally go like this? Is he Popeye? Oh dear. He was a lot of work. It's like, what's the purpose of this room? Like, we're back into the weirdly designed rooms for no reason thing. Like, because like, this is an art room, or is this a workout space or a practice space? Some of the sets are cool, but other ones I'm like, what is this? At least they are working it out so there's like an explanation of why they can't shoot him. Like, I do appreciate that. Like, if you drop the gun, then you can't. But if you drop one, like, do you really just like walk around with one, or you go into a fight like this with one gun? I feel like you got like 6 of them all over. He was pretty slow picking that gun up and getting it in the right position. Okay, like, see, these guys just aren't very good shots. Like, he's had like 6 times his options to shoot him in the head, and he hasn't gotten it. Yeah, those things make a lot of noise. Maybe put him down.
You should have stayed out. For all our sakes.
Yeah, like, he kind of knows that. So he needs to start throwing things to get the echolocation off, because he's going to hear him. Like his hearing would be so shot. With all those guns going off right by his head. There's no way you'd hear a thing.
Let's get this shit over with.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, this fight scene has gone on a little long. I think we can. I mean, we know he's going to win. He's not going to kill him. It's only like there's 2 hours left of the movie. It's not going anywhere yet. Uh-oh. Wait, weren't we just in the middle of the city? How did he get here? Wherever he is. Or is this like a backyard garden or something? Oh, it's that guy. Well, that was quick. All right.
Because we're in this together now.
Maybe he should have just taken the opportunity to kill this guy. Because I feel like he's just waiting until the bounty gets big enough. Yeah, it's going to come back around in a bad way.
Lying mockers.
It's so pretty. It really is beautiful. But is it as beautiful as the snow scene in Kill Bill 2? I don't know about that. Did they build this set, or is this like a thing somewhere? He doesn't wear his white shirt anymore. Now he's just got a black shirt, so at least you can't see the blood. Oh, I thought it collapsed, but they just burned out the inside, huh?
Thanks for coming.
Well, us homeless folk do have to stick together now, don't we?
Good point.
Last time you spoke to him, you shot him off a roof.
Also a good point.
You, come with me.
Oh wait, I thought he was the one that John Wick killed. Maybe not then. I was confused.
What the service?
Ow! Yeah, the dog's not happy.
One shows me a man committed only to himself, and the other, a man committed to the cause.
Now that's a stupid test. It doesn't mean anything. Like, really? Come on. That's just stupid. I'm gonna take this knife, I'm gonna pull it out of my head, and I'm gonna stab you with it. Is what I'm gonna do. We'll see how committed to the cause I am. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, fuck off with your stupid tests. That's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not destroying my whole hand. Oh, really?
Bon chance.
He said bon chance, that's good luck. He didn't say happy hunting.
Jonathan.
I thought that he calls him Jonathan. There's something about that that's like so fatherly.
Where will it end? Huh?
With him dead.
And then?
And then?
Starting.
3.
Sure?
No, there's more. I'm pretty sure there's more, but that's okay.
Asshole.
The dog's like, yeah, that sucks.
We are still under the table. And last I
That's a heck of a suit too on her. Snake skin.
I am Klaus.
John, I am Klaus.
I think he heard you the first time. All right.
I am Klaus.
Mr. John.
So is that guy, that's all he says is I am Klaus? He's like, I am Groot. I hope he gets paid as much as Vin Diesel for the same lines.
John?
Oh. Okay, what's he doing there?
That family sold you out, Mr. Wick.
Oh, bastards. It's very weird.
One hand. The winner decides who lives and who does not.
I think I'd maybe ask for a fresh deck. How is he going to see this? What cards he has? Yeah, and I might ask for an impartial dealer as well. Ace is an eighth? Really? It's a little cliche, I think.
4 9 and a 4.
How did he have 4 of a kind without being able to see the cards? Does he have a royal flush? Oh, come on. Really?
So that sounds like the beginning of a stupendous joke or a most profitable opportunity.
What beats a royal flush? I don't think anything beats a royal flush, does it?
Thinks he can buy his way out.
Is he going to have 5 twos? That's not that's not okay.
To realize is that the moment they took a seat at the table.
Yeah, they were losers.
They had already lost.
Of course, he's going to stack the deck. So it's weird to me that he missed with the knife. Like, why did he just get his neck like that? That's weird to me. Oh, yeah, that would piss me off. So he's a pretty good fighter, the big guy, I guess. I wasn't expecting him to be that good of a fighter. Who fights with axes when there's... Like, who just, like, walks around with an axe to kill with someone? It's a bit much. I feel like we did the dog thing in the third one more than enough. So the water parted for the dog and then went back. What? Ouch. And then it gets vodka poured on it? That can't feel good. I think that's going to sting a little bit. Okay. A little bit of a walk there.
You speak of the old ways as if you know them. A man of Mr. Wick's station cannot issue such a challenge.
I say he knows the old ways better than that young guy.
Roscaroma challenged the acceptance of Mr. Wick back into the fold. It's all there.
It's very Mad Men the way he's sitting like that.
I think I'll miss you when you're gone.
Shame I can't say the same. Such is life.
So this movie is so much more interesting in its dialogue and its scenes. Like, that scene was really interesting. And then the fight scenes are just going on so long. Like, I don't think this movie needs to be almost 3 hours long. Like, this fight scenes are just like... I've seen so many flippin' fight scenes, you know, over 200. I'm at up to 200 videos on the channel now, even more. And almost all action and superhero movies. So I've seen a lot of fight scenes, and I'm not easily impressed.
Sacre coeur.
Sacre coeur.
That's in the church? Isn't that a church?
But you won't take it. Blades.
Oh, that's a high number.
Pistols.
Oh, even higher. Okay. So it really is an old-fashioned kind of duel.
If there's nothing else, gentlemen, I will
A
see.
nomination.
It is his right.
So he can, is it like he can nominate someone to take his place?
You always have an angle, don't you?
Doesn't everyone?
Of course, yeah.
It was between you and her. You're going to die.
I will say they're doing good at, like, explaining people's motivations and the stakes, you know, that they're all kind of stuck in this mess of control of a table. Seek and destroy.
Sacred Heart. We're putting the call out to deliver your hardest beats to this man in black.
It's all the rather cliche spots in Paris. Like, really? Good song. Yeah, like an hour left. Yeah, this would be one big. The rest of the movie is going to be one big long fight, I think. And why is he just staring at the model of the center of Paris? Just standing there staring at it?
It'll all be over after today.
Will it though?
Long live the king! Had mine made years ago.
I should have worn that t-shirt.
Loving husband. That's what I want on mine.
So I have a feeling that they're gonna that we're gonna see a gravestone with that inscription on it, but he's not actually gonna be buried there. Like everybody's gonna think that he's dead, but he's not really.
I think it's high time we paint him red.
Okay, except that song is painted black. It's not exactly an original choice of song. They use that in Westworld and in a whole bunch of other songs. That works. Okay, wrong way. You're going. Why did he go that way? He's gonna like make all the traffic come to a screeching halt. Yeah, so he can aim perfectly into a car windshield at night, and these guys standing still can't hit him. It's like, did the first movie have a lot of like random guys after him? Like I feel like the whole like it's the stormtrooper thing. Like they're just nameless, faceless guys trying to kill him. That's been in this one now, and then the third movie too. Like I don't feel like the first one had a lot of like random faceless guys going after him. Yeah, kind of bored of the car chase thing now. And there's nobody in the car. There's nobody in there. And I don't necessarily remember thinking of the first one as like fantasy. Like the first one to me felt very realistic in its fights. And this is like kind of ridiculous, like a firefight in the midst of a bunch of cars whizzing by. I mean, I feel like traffic would have come to a screeching halt at like in the first 2 minutes of this fight. How did he get back in a car? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And here's how this guy is here. Like, it's just like really. It's like fantasy action versus like more realistic action, like in the first one, or in like Lethal Weapon, or even Bourne Identity. Like that feels very kind of gritty and real. And that to me is just so much more interesting than. I mean, and this isn't even the fight that we're supposed to care about. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Obviously, he's going to get to the final fight. It's like what happens here is kind of pointless, except we see like a dog get hurt. Like I don't want to see that. There was nobody in that car. What? Like how do these guys just like randomly find, like the streets of Paris are, like you can't just randomly find a motorcycle guy. These like who are these guys that they would go after him and like be willing to die for them? Because he has a reputation. Like everybody knows who he is. I mean, who was the Russian guy in the first movie who was like, even to his son was like, you can't take this guy on. Like who are all these random guys who think they can take him on? I'm so bored with this section of the fight. Like, come on. See, and that's the shame, is because this is a cool way to film a fight, but I don't care about this fight. Like, I don't know who any of these people are, so it's just like, it's just visual. It doesn't mean anything. Oh, this guy's still alive? Oh, Lord. I mean, if he gets up and just walks away from that like a normal person. He just fell out of a second-story window, like, after being hit by multiple cars, and all that, like, come on.
It appears Mr. Wick won't be joining us.
Is it fair that he's been prevented from doing so by his enemy? I don't know. Are we doing more of this stairs now? Like, do we need to do the stairs twice? Like,
You know you owe me.
Yeah.
what the what was that? See, they should have just jumped to all this. This is very cool looking. I don't know why they spent so much time on that fight. Ugh.
Remember your daughter.
Fuck off.
Fire!
Did they both get a hit? Huh? Well, what happens if they, if neither of them, if they choose to blow their shot wide? Because, like, what? Neither of them really wants to kill the other. Uh-oh. He's not so steady on his feet.
Fire!
Uh-oh. He didn't get his shot off. The dog's like, what now?
My daughter free now.
Wait. You and your daughter. Enjoy.
Well, now John can shoot him.
Consequences.
Yep.
That's fucking good.
I'm glad you're amused, dude.
You owe me one.
So does he get his money too? Oh, he already transferred the money maybe. But no, because he didn't kill him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that guy walks away with nothing. Maybe don't walk all the way down the steps. Maybe get patched up first, because you're going to bleed to death and you'd fall and hit your head or something. Yeah, maybe just have a seat. Maybe relax a little bit. Oh, is he going to die? This is very mournful music. It feels like he might die. There's no dates on there. No dates on either one of them. Are we going to have a cut to a clue that he's alive somehow? I think so. I think so. This feels very Sherlock. There's a whole scene of like this in Sherlock. Oh, we're not? Okay. I mean, I know that they wanted this to be the end, so... Unless there's a... Do I need to watch the thing? Is there a post-credit scene on these? Oh, did Lance Reddick die? I didn't know that. Oh, wait, what? There is. Oh, for her. Okay. Yeah, that could easily have been 2 hours. 2 hours, 15 tops. The long, drawn-out fight scenes and chase scenes, they didn't add anything to the emotional impact of the story. They didn't raise the stakes in any way. They didn't drive the plot forward in any way. There was no point to them. Like, you knew he was going to make it to that final fight. So why not just bring us there? Like, maybe have, like, a couple little things, like 5-10 minutes of struggle to get there. But, yeah. Ugh. There was just no point to them except to have fancy and sometimes completely ridiculous fight scenes that go on and on and on in the most cliche of Paris tourist traps. Is that what action audiences really want? Like just fights for fight's sake? Like, I know I'm not the target audience for a lot of these movies, but I've seen enough of that. Haven't action audiences seen enough of that? And I will say, like, the John Wick movies do it well, but how much of that do you need to see to be satisfied? I feel like it's a quality versus quantity choice, and I'm trying to remember a single moment of any of the big fight scenes that added anything original to the genre, that had a single moment of like unique creativity that I haven't seen before. I don't think there was one. Everything in these fights I've seen before, and I've seen before in a John Wick movie. Like, they even repeated themselves in the same movie here. Like, the second time on the stairs wasn't any more interesting than the first time on the stairs. Why did it need to be done twice? The dog wasn't any more interesting than the two dogs in the third movie. We saw that over and over and over again already. The fight in the rain happened in the third movie. The fight in the busy nightclub happened in every single one of the other movies. It's like they can't figure out a new way to make any of these fights interesting, so they just make them longer, and then they just end up repeating themselves over and over again. So I'm very split on this one. It's stunningly beautiful. So there are so many gorgeous shots. The sets and the backdrops are amazing. The lighting is incredible. The costumes are cool. Like, it has style, and I love that. But the plot is so thin, and the fight scene's so pointlessly excessive that the build up to the final fight felt wasted. It made the drama of that moment kind of anticlimactic because I think I was overstimulated. I had seen enough. I was ready to be done. Like, if you want a crass but clear analogy, it's like when you're in bed with someone and they keep going down on you even though you're ready to fuck. Like, you're ready for the main event. I was ready to fuck 45 minutes before the end of this movie. Like, it's like eating a gourmet meal. If you eat too much, you can't enjoy it because then your stomach hurts. And then they bring you dessert and you're like, oh God, I can't force another morsel of food in my mouth, even, no matter how good it is. More is not necessarily better. And this movie is just more instead of building steadily towards the climax. And I wish the filmmakers had trusted themselves and their audience to appreciate this beauty and the style that they were putting on screen, because it does work in those moments when in the dialogue scenes, they're really good. And I'm just disappointed because I was hoping for some of the unexpectedness of the first movie. Like, even when all the fighting in there, it had emotional impact, and the fights themselves, they mattered to the plot. They mattered to the story. But I guess I can go back and watch that one again whenever I want. Maybe I just need to do that. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, do all the things. Check out my Patreon for exclusive content. Click here to watch another of my reactions next. You guys are awesome. I love sharing movies with you, good and bad. Thanks for watching with me.